to this presentation. It's from Dr. Folletti and myself. As many of you know, we have been collaborating for over 30 years on a weekly basis. Yes, since the first time we met. And I want all of you to get the benefits of his incredible wisdom and his brilliance, his love for people, his curiosity. And that's in many ways how all of this started with the ACE, the Adverse Childhood Experiences Study. We actually met before the ACE got started. I was working with some of his patients from Kaiser Permanente. He was the director of the Department of Preventive Medicine called Health Appraisal that saw 25,000 people a year. And he was sending me people who were struggling with all kinds of medical problems that weren't responding to the traditional treatments, psychological issues, emotional issues, addiction issues, cardiovascular disease, cancers, autoimmune illnesses. And he was asking me if I could help them get better. And I was finding the same thing that he was finding, that people actually had underlying issues to all of their chronic illnesses, psychologically, emotionally, physically, medically. And the underlying issues were related to traumas, early experiences that they had been through that were never resolved, never even asked about, were secrets, they were hidden, doctors never asked, therapists weren't as aware then as they are now about trauma. Certainly they didn't know about ACEs because ACEs hadn't even been developed. So Dr. Folletti told me, because one of the patients we were working with got so much better so quickly, that can you help me with this assessment? Can you help me with the treatment solutions? And made me the director and founder of what became the ACE treatment solution division. And I was happy to do it. It was amazing because we're both very curious people. We're both very interested in helping people help themselves. And interestingly enough, as we're interviewing dozens, then hundreds, then thousands, now it's millions of people that have experienced adverse childhood experiences, we were surprised how common these were. Almost 3/4 of all the people that we spoke to had experienced adverse childhood experiences. We thought, hey, if this is true, they would have taught me in graduate school, they would have taught him in medical school, but nobody ever talked about traumas. Nobody even knew the impact on all of the medical problems, the psychological problems, the life problems. And it kept coming up over and over again. So now we're at the point where we're saying, oh, so the reason people aren't improving is they have unresolved trauma. I'm helping with the individualizing the treatment solutions. He's getting the ACE questions down from 40 questions to 10 with the help of a colleague from the CDC, Rob Anda. It took a lot, but the 10 ACE questions that you know are the 10 most common traumas that kids go through. It's not an exhaustive list. It's not the whole list. It's just the 10 most common. Dr. Folletti and I, in interviewing and getting to know all these people and working with them, me helping them, him helping me help them, me helping him help them, meeting every week, doing groups, dozens of groups, seeing individuals and their families in the many, many thousands, we realized that we had our own ACEs, which drove us to our careers, our professions, our missions, our purpose, and why ACE was so important to both of us. And we had a very similar ACE experience, both of us. We've done videos about our own ACEs, about the trouble it caused us for years, decades, and then the treatments that really helped. And we have videos of me helping him. We have videos of him helping me. So it's not as if we were the doctors helping other people. We were getting a lot of help from those people to figure out what doesn't work and what does work. And we're also helping ourselves. And we all know that people go into the healing arts to help other people. And we were no exceptions. And we had ACEs. And what ended up happening was really curious that the physician of the year at Kaiser Permanente, who used to call me the doctor of last resort, and he changed that to doctor of first resort because he said, why spend all that time and money sending them to places if they weren't going to get better, if we could just help them learn from you? And my job, paradoxically, counterintuitively, was helping people connect with their own inner doctor, their inner wisdom, which is very natural and takes a lot of work because it's underneath all the layers of physical issues. It's underneath all the layers of emotional issues. It's underneath all the layers of mental and psychological issues, social issues, family issues. So it's very deep. Everyone has an inner doctor inside. You just have a hard time finding it because it's covered up by all of the trauma, the stress, the difficulties, the stress patterns, the practices, the doing what's familiar, the addictions, the dependencies, all of those habits. But yes, it's always with you 24/7, always available. You just have to go deeper than usually you have ever gone before to get to your inner wisdom, get to your inner doctor. Yes, it is available to everybody. You just have to learn the how to's, which very few people ever learn. We meet people all the time, we have for decades, that tell us we've tried everything. I've done all the medications. I've done all the alternative programs. I've done all of the different psychedelics and all the ayahuascas and all the journaling and all the therapies, the analysis, all the programs. I've gone away. I've traveled to other countries. I've done everything. And they have accomplished a lot. They have released, they have understood what caused all their problems, but they never got to the how to's to integrate new skills into their daily lives. And that potential has to be connected and supported by your inner doctor. It's not going to come from somebody else. You can travel to the four corners of the earth. We've taught in dozens of countries. We've learned from hundreds of wonderful healers, and everybody has to find their own best answers inside themselves with the help of their inner doctor that's deeper and deeper and further than you've ever gone. Totally capable, but that's what it takes. So if you think you've done everything, you have except one thing. And if you feel like, I tried, I do it, how come? Because you're just missing that one step, that deep, deep step inside with specific techniques individualized to fit you. Yes, they're in our book. You'll at least get some great lessons from Trauma to Enlightenment, just came out in the bookstores. They're in our cards because This took a long time to develop, and I just love the ability to pick a different card every day, whether it's anxiety and learn about techniques from my inner doctor about anxiety, or receptivity, beautiful artwork from a great artist, Kevin Anderson, subconscious. A lot of healers think that with all of their programs, all they have to do is get you to your subconscious. It's not true. The subconscious is the perfectionist, the analyzer, and you have to go deeper than your analyzer and your perfectionist because that part of you can also catastrophize. What if? What if I don't? What if I can't? Perfectionists are really never satisfied until everything's perfect. Well, we know how long that takes forever. And perfectionists are never satisfied unless everything's okay. Everything? Everything. Well, we know how long that takes. So the subconscious mind is what a lot of people try to transcend or get rid of or stop. Stop being an analyzer, stop being a perfectionist. Well, you can't. That part of you has a lifetime membership. It's always with you. It has usefulness. The thing is, most people are either controlled by it or trying to control it, and neither one of those work. You already know that. You've tried to control your perfectionist, your critic, your judge. It doesn't work. Your perfectionist, your controller has tried to control you. That doesn't work either. So you have to go deeper than your subconscious. You have to go deeper than your conscious. We learn this from tens of thousands of people. We've learned it ourselves. We practice it ourselves on a daily basis because you have to integrate this into your daily life. You have to go into whether you call it your unconscious, your superconscious, your cosmic consciousness. It's your inner dark. It's your inner wisdom. So that's the one thing that we teach in our Enlighten app. It took us 30 years to develop this. It was a phone system. We had tens of thousands of people getting daily techniques, and we turned it into an app. And why do we call it Enlighten? Well, in traveling and teaching about ACEs and solutions and techniques, we wondered, is anybody enlightened all the time? Because we met so many wonderful people from all walks of life, in all levels of education, from very little to lots of degrees. And we didn't meet anybody that was always in the zone, in the moment, in the flow, perfect, wonderful, nothing bothers them, and light. So as we traveled and learned, we wanted to know if anybody was really enlightened, and we're teaching in many different countries in many different languages, thanks to wonderful translators. I know some of them are here with us now. And we discovered, and why we named the app Enlighten, is that enlightenment was not what we thought it was. In the zone, in the flow, nothing bothers you, everything's great, no problem. Yep, no matter what. That wasn't what enlightenment was. So that took us years to figure out also, thanks to some really wonderful people, especially one, who taught us that enlightenment isn't any of those things. It's unconditional self acceptance. So we decided very quickly not to name the app Enlightenment because people would think what we thought, but to name it Enlighten. Very cute short name, Enlightn. Took us years to develop it. It has so many techniques, so much assessment, so much ability to adjust to you and adapt to how you're doing all the time at work, at home. So the app is Enlightened. It took a long time to figure out, just like the book, just like the cards. But Dr. Fleddy and I are totally committed to helping people help themselves. And a lot of our mind body healing techniques in the app, in the book, in the cards came from a mentor that I worked with before I met Dr. Folletti, a medical doctor also, by the name of Milton Erickson, who loved individualizing techniques to help people with pain, whether it's physical, psychological, social, emotional. Because, like Dr. Folletti and I, he got into the field because he had polio as a kid and had chronic pain, wasn't supposed to make it to 20 years old. I met him when he was 75. I shared all of my training, those 4 years with Dr. Folletti. He was very intrigued, fitted right into what we were doing. I told Dr. Erickson about Dr. Folletti and the assessment that hadn't been finished yet, but was coming. Very intrigued, very interested. And as we've traveled and learned, yes, we get into the field, we get into our lives to help ourselves and help other people, both. And there's so much to learn because everybody's so different. As we ask the ACE questions, oh, and the 11th and 12th question that we added after probably about 25 years, it took about 5 years to get them integrated. Dr. Folletti was the editor of the Kaiser Permanente Medical Journal for over 20 years. Fantastic writer. Helped me write a medical journal article that became very popular. Helped me write an article for UNICEF, for Pediatrician Magazine. Helped me write books and helped me write this book. So when we wanted to add these two questions that we kept getting asked to do by so many thousands of people, it took us a long time to get the wording exactly right. It came about because people said, I took the ACE and I'm a 0. Why do I have cardiovascular issues? Why do I have an autoimmune illness? Why am I struggling with the same dependencies with drinking, food, smoking, relationships? And we realized we needed to add this 11th question. You want to know what it is? You probably want all 12 of the ACE questions. Well, you're going to have to connect with us. Send us a note. Say, I want the complete, current, present ACE assessment with all 12 questions, and we will send it to you. You might want the adverse adult experiences assessment, 12 questions. The positive childhood experience assessment, 12 questions. The positive adult experience, 12 questions. We have assessments. They all take 5 or 10 minutes to answer. You'll get your score, you'll get your category, you'll get recommendations, and they're available in the app. They're available in the cards and the books. They're available from us. So we want you to reach out. We want to support you, want to help you, help yourself, get free from the patterns, connect with your inner doctor, go through whatever you've gone through successfully, because you're going to have other challenges and issues that you want to be able to go through and get through. I had a mother who passed away in her late 40s of ALS. That was an adult trauma. My oldest sister I was very close to got cancer and passed away. That was a trauma. And I'm an adult. The sister close to me in age, very close to her, cancer, passed away. Those are adverse adult experiences. So, yes, we have to heal and resolve our adverse childhood experiences and our adverse adult experiences. So, please connect. We'll help you with the assessments, we'll help you with solutions, and hopefully, I will see you next time because we will do this again. Okay? And I'll get back to everybody. And Dr. Folletti and I will review all of the questions together. We still meet all the time. So thank you for your openness. I hope this was helpful. The best is yet to come. And we'll see you soon. And thank you for being here. I really appreciate it.